Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. And for this video, I want to do something just slightly different. If you have watched the last 15 videos or so, I'm sure you've probably heard me say at the beginning, I want to talk about a video which relates to you and me and everyone else, and while that pretty much applies to every video I've made, I want to emphasize something in the next few videos. I want to emphasize, well, choices. Since all of us in life, we get to make plenty of choices, and it can be on many different things. It can be on a gift we want to buy for ourselves or for someone else. It can be on choosing your friends. It can be on a lot of different things. For this video, this has more to do with how we're controlling ourselves when we are speaking about other people. And I wanted to talk about this topic because I think sometimes it is so easy to slip into talking negatively about others, even if we don't mean to. I've done it before, and maybe you've done it before, where you end up battering other people, criticizing other people, talking down about them, instead of trying to talk constructively about them or just talk about them in general. The choice is choosing love over battering others. In this life, obviously, no one is perfect, and also in this life, just about everyone talks. And being someone who has been someone who really hasn't learned to always be quiet, sometimes I talk a lot and a lot and a lot. Obviously, I have talked about other people before in a good way and sometimes in a bad way. And I have discovered that when I talk about people in a good way, my life is easier. When I talk about people in a bad way, sometimes my life is not so easy, because other people may spread information around, and sometimes the person that I'm talking about, and hey, in your case, sometimes maybe the person you're talking about, will hear about what you had to say, whether it be positive or negative. And obviously, when it comes to talking positively about other people, well, I'm definitely all for that, and I would think just about everyone likes to hear positive comments made about them. Now, when it comes to people being criticized, I don't think anyone is really happy to hear about that. It's always important to choose your words carefully when we are talking about anything, and in this case, talking about people. Everyone has flaws, and sometimes if someone has really made us mad, we might fall into the temptation of talking very negatively about someone. And instead of just pointing out someone's flaws, sometimes we may go way beyond that, and we may start criticizing somebody, and we may say some comments about someone which are too harsh, and sometimes we may even say things about someone that is not true. Always control what you say. Sure, maybe the person you're talking about may not hear what you had to say, but if you are talking to someone and you're speaking about someone else and you're talking very negatively, it's not the best example. It's not a good example when you are losing your self-control over what you have to say about somebody. It just doesn't bode well for anyone when we start criticizing someone way too much. And I know no one's perfect. We have all fallen short of God's expectations for us. But we need to remember that as well, if we are trying to point out something wrong that someone did. We don't want to start talking about someone like they are the absolute worst person ever, because we have made mistakes too, and it's not fair for someone else to either hear that they are the worst person ever, or it's not even fair for the other person if we talk to others and say that they're the worst human being ever. Control what you have to say when it comes to talking about other people, and really control what you have to say about anything, because words really can cut like a knife. One other point I want to throw out in this video before I wrap it up is, now, if you are talking about other people and you're only pointing out their flaws, for example, but you're not doing it in a negative way, like you're trying to inform other people like what someone is good at and what they're not so good at, it's a little different from criticizing someone and labeling them as the worst person ever. Take this for example. Let's say that you're talking about someone on a worship team, and you may say, for example, yeah, he has a really good singing voice and he is really into it whenever he is singing. However, he does have some trouble when it comes to rhythm. In that case, you pointed out something good about someone, and then you also pointed out something that someone is not so good at. That's different from saying, you know, he or she is the worst human being ever. We all have our flaws, and, you know, knowing someone's flaws and talking about it in just that way, that's different from criticizing someone and labeling them as just absolutely terrible. In the end, just remember, you have a choice when it comes to choosing love and talking positively about someone, and you also have the choice to talk negatively about someone, and between the two, I would definitely say choose love. Choose love over battering others. No one likes to be told a hurtful comment. Now, I know some people may need to hear harsh truth, but don't ever start talking about someone in such a way where you're trying to really condemn them and say they are the worst person ever, because we are all flawed. Choose love over battering other people, and if there are any conflicts with other people in your life, try to work them out. That may not always be easy, but try to work them out. And if you have any anger towards someone at some time, do your best to not let it get to you whenever you are talking about them. Choose love over battering others, and good results should happen for you. So overall, this is all I have to talk about for this word of advice video, and I certainly hope what I've had to talk about in this video has made sense and will come in handy for you. Be sure to come back for another word of advice video.